YouTube, how we doing? Jags to Riches, James Peters, on behalf of Celtics Corner. Game day, guys. Wow, we're not just here. That's right, back to back. But as you know, pregame show, I have one of our hosts with us and a special guest. Let's get everyone in, and we've got quite a few things to talk about, unfortunately. Now, do I really need to introduce the lovely lady? Unlike Bobby, I can tell my left from my right. Bree Marie joining me. Sorry, no
Thanks for making me laugh.
No beast move today, but she was gracious enough to join me. Bree, talk to me. What's up?
Yeah, it's a sad day. I don't know. I thought we were off this emotional roller coaster that is the Boston Celtics. And nope, just crashed again, guys. Not even 24 hours. We can't even enjoy the one seed for not they don't want to see us win. I don't know. I have no words. I don't want to stay in depression mode too long because obviously we got to get game day focused on the road ahead and next man up, hospital Celtics mentality. But this is just a kick to the balls.
to both mine and yours, Bree. Lord have mercy. You're right. It's
Facts.
Congrats, guys. I refreshed my thing.
Prayers,
it's like
prayers
the scan. Man, Rob Williams. Shout out to Rob. Prayers up for real. It's like Bree.
Nice.
I update my things. It shows standings Boston first. Not even an hour or two later, it's the Rob Williams circulation.
Yeah.
So it's like, my God. But Prodigy joining us, our special guest. I mean, you've seen this gentleman multiple times. Always an honor, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, Prodigy. How are you doing? You said it's a damn snowstorm or a blizzard or some shit going up in Mass. Is that a surprise that the weather's bad on a day like this?
I mean, yeah, it couldn't have been more fitting. We had freaking snow this morning, and it was 20 degrees. And then I see we signed Jawan Morgan. I'm like, oh, what is going on? And then I see the Time Lord notification, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is the worst.
You got the Morgan one first?
Yeah.
So you just seen them signing somebody, or kind of like, what's going on? Then you got the, oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I didn't know it was gonna be a torn meniscus though, but yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, guys. So I mean, do we really need to dance around it? I mean, it's unfortunate. We've all kind of alluded to it. You've all know it's been, everywhere and anywhere that you pull up sports related right now.
Yeah.
We come out of a big game last night against the Timber. I mean, it's just the same exact story. It's a rerun, right? The Boston Celtics are playing a playoff caliber team. They dominate. It looks like a JV versus a varsity. It's a 20-point game. It's everything we've been seeing during this 20. I don't even remember anymore. 23 out of the last 20. It's just, you lose track because it's
only lost 4 in the past 3 months, basically. That's wild.
Very close losses.
And then to get an update that Rob Williams, I mean, I was seeing it and as Beast Move, me and him dropped a video earlier. He alluded, I text him and Bree. I mean, I was hitting up the group chat. It's 4 a.m. Like, guys, I'm a little nervous about this. I mean, Bree, I know how much you love Rob. That is your guy. I don't need to go into what this man's importance has been. He's a double-double, 10-10, defensive player of the year, first team all defense caliber player. Yep. What exactly do you think this means? And just so people know, it's looking like we've heard 2 reports. It could be a scope where it could be 4 to 6 weeks, and we're hearing that's best case. Mm-hmm. Or it could be a little bit more severe where he risks, missing the rest of the season. But what do you think this does to our team, our chances, and the energy of this team overall moving forward with 7 games left, Bree, and 1 tonight?
Right. It's the worst possible fucking timing for this shit to happen, honestly. Like we were saying in the past video, we were so excited that they got hot when they did, because obviously we didn't want them to get hot earlier in the season, then fizzle out when it matters. Now we're seeing an injury. Exactly. We're seeing an injury take place in the worst possible time you could ever. Obviously, you don't plan for it or predict an injury, but this is just like the shittiest time ever to be going without one of your dominant forces on both ends of the floor. Like, that's just, oh my God. Like, do I think that's the be all end all of this season? I don't know. I mean, if I'm looking at this like logically, right? Like not being like, one of those people that are like, we were going to go all the way and we were going to win the championship. I think that our chances are now definitely a second round exit if he is not going to be able to play, because Al is a 35-year-old man and he's not going to be able to hang for long series against younger guys, younger legs. That's just the facts. Tice is great, but for some goddamn reason, all of the refs think that Tice has slept with their wives or some shit, because every time Tice touches anyone, it's a foul. But Tice could get thrown on the floor and it's nope, it's good. That was a normal basketball play. Tice is fine. So I'm like, okay, so Tice is going to foul out within 5 minutes of every playoff game. Grant Williams is great, but doesn't really have the size. Luke Cornett, I don't really know. So it's like, who the fuck do we have in depth for center? We don't.
You named it.
We don't. There's nobody else. There's no one else. And you can't just rely on Marcus Smart on the defensive end, because he's great, but he can't do it all by himself, especially not for a series run. So if I'm being like logical and like not emotional and take the emotions out of it, I want Rob to not return. I don't think, because to be honest with you,
okay.
Do we have what it takes to come out of the East? Maybe. Do we have what it takes to beat the Western Conference Finals teams? No.
Yeah.
So I don't need Rob rushing back for something where we're still missing a piece to take us to that next level, to get a banner. So that's how I feel. I'm trying to be real about it.
This is as big of a Rob Williams fan as there is talking right now.
Yes, literally. Would give him my knee if I could. But there's no point. There's no point with this timetable and how short a period of time we have till playoffs to start to rush this man back. That's what I'm saying. To rush this man back just to maybe have a lingering injury happen, and then he's fucked for the rest of his career. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Spot on.
Sit him out. Let him rest. That fucking sucks, but like, look at how far we came, and I'm just gonna ride on that. Like, we came from the 12th seed, 23-24 in January of 22nd of January to being the number 1 seed, killing everybody, only having 4 losses, March 27th. That's wild. So I'm proud of them. It's so unfortunate what happened to Rob. We kind of could have maybe seen it coming because he's a little bit injury prone. You don't wish injury on anyone, obviously, especially not our own team.
No.
But I need him to just rest and get fully healthy, and I'm okay with him not coming back.
Spot on.
I think they can step up in his absence and win this shit for him. Yep. Hospital Celtics, next man up mentality. Figure it out, guys, because Rob needs rest.
We've got to do that. And I mean, guys, we know there's a game today. We'll get to all the keys or whatnot. There's a bunch of players that are out.
This is more important because we need to just prayers up for Rob.
It doesn't matter if we win or lose or the damn lights go out and they all go home tonight in Toronto. These Rob Williams implications are a lot bigger with us moving forward. But Prodigy, I mean, for everyone asking, Bobby needed the night off. I think he's something about accepting a content creator of the year award. I don't know, but
that's
Prodigy,
awesome if that's true.
If it's not true, it should be. Somebody did it for him. But shit, I'll go to a trophy shop tomorrow myself if I have to. But
I think what he's really doing is taking off the LeBron posters for me and painting his wall Celtics Rob Williams. Just
it'll be a mural of Rob Williams tomorrow. Damn
he's
right.
He's painting it by hand. Yes,
that's exactly what he's doing.
That better be what he's doing.
Knowing him, he's probably going back and tweaking the knees a little bit right now just to add a little bit of Be Smooth flair.
Yeah,
but
just
Prodigy,
to piss us off.
Yeah, Prodigy. I mean, speaking of Bobby, this is something Bobby actually said not that long ago, just the concerns of, should we be concerned with a Jaylen Brown, Rob Williams injury moving forward? And it just seems that history has, I don't know what it is, but Jaylen last year, we can go back to Gordon Hayward and then Kyrie and then KG and then Perk and Green. And I can just, we could do this for an episode. What the hell is it with our luck? What does this mean to you moving forward? As you've seen, Bree, and once again, Project, she is as big of a Rob fan as it gets. She says, shut him down.
Literally tweeted about this man since 2020. 2019, if I could go further back in my tweets.
Shut him down.
I've always been riding for Rob. So
do you agree, sir? Or what exactly do you think? What do you see moving forward and just your overall thoughts?
So obviously I know the medical staff will know the best possible choice, so they'll do whatever they want to do. But if it came down to my personal opinion, I unfortunately would have to agree with you guys that he might have to be done for the year, because he's had so many lower body injuries in his career. And I feel like especially with the fact that this knee injury was kind of already like lingering, and then he just like tore it now. And the way he plays, I just think like he relies so much on his lower body, the ability to be at his peak performance, in his legs or whatever. And I just think that it would be rushing him, and honestly, it could almost like mess with the chemistry, because I know we're gonna have to like adjust to a whole new style of play now without him on the floor. And I think it would just kind of be like a little bit of a mess up, just throw him in the middle and possibly not even be healthy. And he still has to go through his ramp up periods and everything to get back in game shape and everything. So
yes,
I just think it hurts me a lot to say it, but I would definitely take the side of letting him sit for the year.
Wow. So that's actually surprising, man. But I feel myself, because you said it, the ramp up. Gordon Hayward immediately strikes to my 2020 bubble, right? Got hurt right before the playoffs.
Freak accident.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? It was one of those things. He's going to come back. Comes back for the Miami Heat ECF, and it just shit the bed. And I love Gordon. It's just he was still injured. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. You cannot rush the body. It's got to take its time. Right. And this is a gentleman that's had a history of these injuries. Look, I'll shake it up a little bit here. I have a feeling we'll circle back to Rob, but what we have tonight in front of us is a Toronto Raptors game. Celtics traveling up to Toronto. No Rob, no Al, no Jason, no Jalen. And on the other side, they're getting Gary Trent Jr. back. So a few hours ago, yeah, he's actually got just ready.
Oh, boy.
He's completely healthy.
Yeah, completely. You're right. And they are trying. They're, right there tied with Cleveland. So what we'll do, guys, is transition over to the potential starting lineups. And forgive me, you'll see Keem Birch for their center. He actually is out. They're going to probably have Gary Trent in his stead. But obviously, guys, potential starting lineups. As you can see, that's a Celtics team that doesn't look too familiar because the entire starting lineup is out. Whether that's rest or whatnot, we'll basically see. But right off the bat, you've got, Marcus Smart facing an all-star and Fred VanVleet. VanVleet's been struggling a little bit. Marcus Smart has been ascending and playing great as the primary ball handler. Let's start with you, Prodigy. What are you thinking out of Marcus Smart and Fred VanVleet? Who wins this matchup and why?
This is probably maybe the only matchup other than maybe the center position that I think Smart has a chance in, or rather our player has a chance in. So I do think Fred, like Smart, he's just so good at guarding, like, especially like, guards that like to attack the rim a lot. I feel like he's like a very underrated defender down low. And he also just great at closing out. But Fred, I don't know. It's just like that one's kind of a hard one for me to pick. Maybe I go with Fred, but I feel like Smart is just going to make him have maybe a kind of tough game shooting the ball. Like I feel like he might not make as many threes as he normally does, but maybe statistically I would give this to Fred, just barely though.
I like it, man. Definitely a tough matchup. Bree, do you agree with Prodigy? How do you see this?
I agree because if you're looking at the Raptors, I would say that Pascal and Fred are like they're two guys that like are the basically make up the Raptors team. Like, what do you think of the Raptors? You don't think of anybody else but those two. So you kind of expect VanVleet to kind of be the leader there and to be like the go-to guy there on the floor. So he has something to prove. So I believe he might just barely beat Smart, but like by a hair, not by much. I think that's a decent matchup. It's pretty even matchup there, but VanVleet, just because of the weight he holds on his shoulders for this team, he might one up Smart, but not by much.
I agree. This is probably, as you alluded to, Prodigy, the closest on paper when it comes to matchups, especially like with our, big guns sitting out. Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart, guys, especially with Rob out, that's our defensive player of the year. And I mean, all defense and has been spectacular, especially since returning January 23rd. Whereas VanVleet is, a 21-5-7 guy, but this month of March, he's actually kind of, struggling, more averaging closer to 15-5-5 while shooting 27.7% from three. So I'm kind of with both of you all. I think it could go either way. However, I'll lean with Smart just because, I mean, he has to step up and shit. He's going to have a green light, as the chat's saying, because no one else is playing. He's going to be able to shoot as much as he wants. So why not? I'll say
good
Marcus
or
Smart.
bad.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows? Shoot it out, Marcus. Do as much as you want. And he has a history of doing well against Toronto. So I'll go with my man, Marcus Smart. Derek White versus OG Anunoby. Now, OG, I want to say this is his third game back from injury. His first two games, he had a 14 and a 16 piece with mid-20 minutes, ramping him back up. We know him very well. Bree, let's start with you. Mr. Derek White getting the start for Jaylen Brown and Jason being out against OG. Who you got?
So maybe this might be Derek White's moment to shine.
Yes.
So I kind of want to take that positive spin on this. Like what you just said, Anunoby's kind of just working his way back to like basketball mode after being out. So this again, to me, looking at it just without that kind of background that you just gave me, I would say it is pretty even. But I'm gonna, I want to be positive here and think that White's going to rise to the occasion, especially starting. You kind of get that feeling like, okay, like I'm more important because now I'm a starter. You kind of have that expectation put on you. And playing with Marcus Smart, he's not going to let you slack. So, especially not when we're down people. So, I think Derek White might have a breakout game today. Breakout meaning maybe in the mid 20s scoring. And
oh yeah.
And pretty good on both ends of the floor. I want him to have like maybe 1 or 2 steals if possible. And yeah, I think he'll be great.
Awesome.
He's going to rise to that occasion. He has to. He has
Definitely
no
would be right on cue. We could use it.
Yeah.
Now, again, guys, you'll remember I mentioned that their Gary Trent Jr. is going to be back tonight. Hits his first game back. So I don't know if they're going to immediately insert him. Kim Birch is out. So you could see, Gary Trent there versus Derek White. Don't agree with, don't pay too much attention to all that shit. He might be coming off the bench. But Prodigy, Derek White, OG, another very close matchup. Do you agree with Bree, or who do you got winning this one and why?
So honestly, I before you guys said what you said about like his whole recovery thing, I was gonna say OG because I do think, obviously I hate him for that lucky ass shot in the bubble, but he's one of my favorite players in the NBA.
Game 3.
I like him. I like him a lot. I have him on fantasy. He's done me well when he's available. But the fact that you guys brought up that he might be on a minutes restriction and he's still kind of ramping his way back up into game shape, I do think that's going to kind of hinder his statistical performance. Like even if he has a good impact to the game, I just feel like White could probably come close or even surpass him. And the fact that White will be getting a lot more touches now and opportunities, I do think I honestly might change my mind and agree that this is White's game to really prove that he's a legitimate weapon that we have. So
Hell yeah, man. I love it, man. If there's ever a time to get someone to step up, it is right now. And the fact that recent history, Derek White's been playing pretty solid here the last several games.
Yeah.
So let's keep that rolling.
He started off a little rocky, a little inconsistent, but I think he's definitely found his role on this team.
Yep.
And now he's just being asked of a little bit more from him. So let's see if he can rise to that occasion. So
no doubt. So now those first 2 matchups is where it was, pretty even. Some of our better players. Now it's when it's going to get interesting. So Aaron Nesmith recently returning, getting a start. I actually loved how he played the other damn day, diving all over the place, a lot of hustle. But Scotty Barnes is an absolute Celtic killer. And I will get into that. He's part of my keys to the game, man, because when you hear what he's done to us in these 3 games, it's All right, Bree, Scotty Barnes, that rookie sensation versus Aaron Nesmith. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to say Barnes over Nesmith simply because, I don't follow, like I should, but I don't really follow many Raptors games, but it sounds like, according to what you said, he gets more burn and he gets more playing time. So he obviously is just more conditioned than Nesmith. Nesmith has been riding the bench.
Good point.
Nesmith really isn't that consistent. We don't know what Nesmith we're going to get every game. So if we're looking at odds and we're looking at, who would be the better matchup there, I would go with what you said and go with Barnes because I don't have that much confidence in Nesmith at all. I thought he should have been shipped out when we shipped out Romeo. So
no, just so you know, Bree, Barnes is a 15.5, 7.5, and 3.5 assist kind of guy. And this March, he's averaging 17, 8, and 4. So playing really good this month.
Yeah, I'll take that, please.
Give me that all day.
I would like that. Let's just trade them. It'll be fine.
Hey, Hey, Toronto, take Aaron Nesmith and give us back Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
Great deal.
Prodigy, are you going to surprise me here, or is this rookie going to keep rolling on us?
Yeah, the Barnes, he's definitely got this matchup. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I do like Nesmith. I want to give him time to improve because, like, look what Grant Williams did over the course of 3 years after he was a meme last year. But I like his hustle a lot and his effort. And I know that shot can fall, but right now, from where we stand, Barnes is going to absolutely dominate this matchup. Like, Nesmith can't even hit an open 3. So, like, it's just sad to see. And I really like him a lot. So I'm going to keep hoping him. But Barnes is Rookie of the Year candidate, and he just like honestly reminds me kind of like a Brandon Ingram type player, maybe like better playmaker. But yeah, I think he definitely got that matchup.
No, I agree, man. Scotty Barnes is the real deal, and like I said, when we get to some of his performance against Boston this year, you'll understand. He's really got size on Aaron, playmaking ability, defense. So I mean, that's a tough matchup for anyone. But moving on to, I mean, arguably they're like as Bree said, Van Fleet and Pascal Siakam. They're big gun. They're all NBA, all-star level player facing Batman himself, Grant Williams, who we definitely need. Bree, I mean, can Grant rise to this occasion or?
Nah, I think Pascal's one of the, like I said, Pascal's the face of the Raptors. There's no chance.
22-8-5.
Yeah, there's no chance. And I don't know if it's just me, and I also don't know, like, I've already said I don't claim to know everything. I don't literally watch stats. I know people were like taking jabs at me being like, that was the easiest trivia question ever. Well, bro, I don't just sit and watch stats all day. I actually watch the game with my eyeballs.
Straight up.
Anyways, I don't, in my opinion, every time I've seen Grant get the start, he doesn't really do that hot as a starter. I think he's just been more comfortable coming off the bench than starting, in my opinion. But again, that could be based on the matchups he's been faced with. If it's a mismatch or not, whatever. But yeah, Pascal, hands down, is definitely going to eat up Grant Williams in this matchup. That's my opinion on that. There's no way about it. I mean, Pascal is he not? He's an all-star, right?
He's been an all-NBA.
Yeah,
he's been all-star. He's a champ.
And Grant has not. Grant gave himself his own nickname. That's where we're at there. So.
You straight up. I mean, it is. Siakam's a damn top 25 caliber player, guys. We've gone over his accomplishments.
Definitely.
It's this month alone, he's averaging nearly 27, 8 and 5 in March. I mean, he's the real deal. And shame on whoever was giving shit to Bree on that trivia question. The only reason I know
I'm
any
so
of this,
proud,
guys,
and everyone's like, "That was easy." I'm like, "Okay."
That's so silly, guys. The only reason I know all this is because all the numbers are right here written down, and I've spent probably the last 24 hours writing down this one page so that I can look
dedication.
Smart.
That's right.
So
thank you, Jack.
We have Mr. Pascal Siakam tonight. He's been rolling this month. I mean, can Batman stop him? He's done great against, Jokic and Cat. I mean, he's had some good matchups recently against some of these big, upper echelon bigs. Can he keep it going tonight?
I feel like he doesn't have enough defensive help to really own the matchup, and like he doesn't have Time Lord in case Siakam spins past him with his little patented spin move.
Good point. Yep.
And I just think Siakam. People honestly I feel like he's gotten so much disrespect ever since the bubble. Like he's almost, if not better than who he was like that year, and people just don't really give him attention anymore since he choked against us. But he's definitely owning this matchup. He's been hot. He's just an all-around player. Can score from anywhere. He can handle the ball, defend pretty decently. Like I like Siakam a lot, and he needs more appreciation. So I give him the matchup.
I'm with you. And guys, Kim Birch, remember he's gotten taken out of the starting lineup. So who knows? I'm not sure exactly what they are going to do. They've got some other bigs, Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher or whatnot. I don't know who starts for them, but I guess instead of thinking it more as a matchup, let's just talk about Daniel Tice for a second or two. I mean, obviously not Robert Williams, but has been here with these guys, most of them on ECF runs, as recent as 2020 with the majority of our stars. And I think that it is definitely a saving grace that we made that Schroeder trade to get Daniel Tice, because if not, it would be Enes Freedom, who, by the way, is still available on the free agents if anyone's interested.
No, he's out of the NBA. No, sorry.
Yep.
He blacklisted himself, so he's all set.
Yeah, literally.
Guys, talk to me. What are you thinking about him? Can he help stop the bleeding at all, or?
You know what? As much as I absolutely love Tice and glad that we got him back, like I've said before many times again, the Celtics love recycling old players, but it works to their favor here because everyone loved Tice. He was great. He got along with everybody. He fits right back in, picked up right where he left off. The only thing that I get worried about is obviously the whistle that he gets is fucking horrendous. And we don't need him fouling out early when we have literally no bench help because he is bench. So it's like we're starting a bench player, but then we have no bench to sub in after him. So it's like, that's going to be the real issue here. And for Tice, like he can either have like a solid game, or he can be a little inconsistent and a little timid. I see him get burned sometimes at the rim, and I see him, kind of just, get flat-footed, and he just like looks like he's confused sometimes. I'm like, Tice, like, hello, you're in a game, buddy. Wake up. Please block this. Let's go. Get the rebound. Hello. So he needs to just be a little more focused, rein it in, and try not to pick up 5 fouls in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, but
right. I was trying to be generous with the 5 minutes.
I knew you were.
Yeah,
Shout out to
please.
Shout out to the near 90 people in here. We appreciate you all, especially without,
welcome.
Be Smooth in here. Bobby, if you're watching this, we love and miss you. Hope everything's going well. Celtics are number one, by the way. Haha. Prodigy, DT, Daniel Tice, getting him back. Had some good run with Boston in the past. Definitely is somebody we could use right now, because, by the way, when I was looking at the free agents, like I said, it's like Ennis Freedom, Willie Cauley-Stein, Taco Fall. Those are like the best.
I take Taco back.
Everyone else, it's like, so what do you think about Daniel Tice? Does he get to come in and, can he make a difference? What do you expect from him now moving forward?
I do think Tice, obviously is, statistical and like just pretty much in every way downgrade from our regular bigs, but he was with us when we were an ECF team, as you previously stated. And, I do think he'll, at least be able to make us a little bit less bad than we would have looked if we had Freedom running the center. I'd probably turn the game off in 5 minutes if Freedom starting. So.
Oh hell
yeah. But he's still got chemistry with the team. Like, he's a solid interior defender. He can kind of switch, like around screens, like at least like for a quick moment, and he can get some chase down blocks. Like, he can do some, like not anywhere near as much frequently as Time Lord, but he can like get some chase down blocks and hold the paint down kind of decently mostly if a team is smaller.
True.
And he sets great screens. He's been shooting, apparently, I think it was like 36% from 3 since he came to Boston. So he could stretch the floor too. So that's one thing that Time Lord couldn't do, I guess. So if you want to look at it like that, then
I love when centers can shoot a 3. It's fun for me.
Such
like even Taco shot a 3. Grant even shouted him out on Twitter, which I love. There's still like, even though he's not their teammate anymore, there's still like that teammate camaraderie. Like, once a Celtic, always a Celtic. Like, supporting him from afar. Like, yo, I'll sign up Taco for like $5 to come throw out a 3 from the bench. Like,
he did shout him out yesterday. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think you're right, Prodigy. That was spot on. Let's not kid ourselves. There's not many Rob Williams in the game, let alone his backup. So we're not expecting Daniel Tice to come in and do what Rob Williams did for this team. Not even, that's by any stretch of the imagination. But as Prodigy said, he does have a few tools in the shed that Rob does. He can stretch the floor, maybe not at the highest clip, but Rob's not shooting that 3, whereas Daniel Tice will pull it.
That's a very good point.
Quite often at that. Pick and roll seals. Daniel Tice is excellent, especially with this team and the chemistry and the flow, the amount of games that he has played. And let's not forget that, and I know it was 2 years ago, but I stand firm that I think the Celtics make the finals in the bubble year if we had Al Horford to pair with Daniel Tice in that Miami Heat Bam series. So you never know the importance. We'll see. I have a feeling that they will have those opportunities to prove their worth very soon. We got about 15 minutes left.
Do you think that Tice has more confidence at this point than Rob, just because he has like more years under his belt? So he is willing to take that like jumper or that 3, and Rob really doesn't. Like, I feel like Rob doesn't have that confidence just yet. But again, this is his first year starting. So like the sky's the limit for Rob. I think Tice just has that veteran, vibe to him. So he's not afraid to shoot. So I think that's the only difference. That's the only plus side to having Tice over Rob, is that Tice isn't afraid to shoot, and Rob is a little bit more, hesitant and will pass first and not shoot. So you're so 100% correct, Bree. Good point there. Anyone in the comments section, get your questions in. We have about a little bit less than 15 minutes. We're going to do our keys to the game shortly. We're going to obviously give our prediction. Spoiler warning, Celtics are winning. We don't give a shit who's out tonight. But let's transition over to the keys to the game.
right off the bat, need the key role players to step up, guys. I think that is essentially what we've been talking about all night. It's, I mean, not only, remember, this is just tonight's game we're talking about, but no Tatum, Brown, Rob, Al. So essentially, you need your bench to now become your starters and to step up. You need a big game from Smart, Derek White. Obviously, we've talked at length about about his replacements in Grant Williams and Daniel Tice. Prodigy, any of these keys to the game step out or stand out for you that could actually be huge or beneficial for us tonight?
I feel like if we're somehow able, with our lack of size, to control the boards, I feel like that would kind of coincide with controlling like the defensive tempo, and I feel like we control games with our defensive ability. So I think if we're somehow able to keep up, the defensive rotations and make the Raptors struggle, like maybe we could somehow scrap out like a very narrow victory or something, or like barely lose or something. Well, I'll say that in the predictions, but yeah.
So
well, if I'm, sorry.
No, I was quickly going to say about his boards point. 3 times we played this year, the 2 games we won, we out rebounded them. The 1 game they won, which was obviously game 2, they beat us out on the rebound 60-42. Sorry, Bree.
No, you're good. So like what I like to do when I'm going into a game, like I write down like, okay, so I have written down Celtics 47-28 on a 6-game win streak. They're on a traveling back-to-back. So I like make notes about like what we're looking at. And then I have the Raptors 42-32, 2-game win streak. They're the 6th seed. And they're obviously battling to stay up in the standings for playoff seeding purposes. I actually had that Van Vliet was listed as questionable before today. So, and I had that Trent Jr. was listed as out. So obviously they made some game time decisions and changed everything. So obviously that changes my outlook on our matchups, which obviously we just did. And obviously, as you wrote, another big night for Tatum and Brown. Well, obviously that's not happening. Things change so quickly here. So then they have to come up with a new game plan. Like we don't know who they're going to insert into a game. It's kind of like we just make our best educated guess, right? So I think looking at this, obviously we're going to have to use our deep bench. We're coming off a traveling back-to-back, and there's no fucking way that you're not super deflated about the Rob Williams news. So either it's either gonna go one of 2 ways. You're either gonna be super depressed, super run down, super tired, have players that aren't used to certain minutes, and it's just gonna be, a train wreck in the first half, and the game's just gonna be over. Or they're gonna rise to the occasion. They're gonna play hard for Rob. And all these guys that are used to getting garbage minutes or riding the bench their whole career here, they're going to actually play meaningful minutes for once and use that as motivation to be like, Ime, play me more or trade me, either one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is a very, this is such a toss-up game for me that I really don't know which way it's going to go at all. I'm praying that we are rolling on this if we get this win, it's a 7-game win streak. But the real challenge ahead is actually the Heat on Wednesday at home.
Ooh, it's coming.
Definitely.
I mean, you are spot on, and I do apologize, guys. We do update these keys to the game,
but it's so difficult because you don't know.
It really is, bro.
It's so hard to make a graphic and then change it. Like
Bree, it was like 3 minutes before the stream started. I was looking and I was like, oh my God, Gary Trent's playing, and I was like, should I go? But no, I mean, so it is one of those things, constant change. That's the only constant. But my key is going to be about, and I've mentioned him, Celtics killer Scotty Barnes. Let me tell you about this damn rookie and what he's done in these 3 games. In the October game, he had 25 points, 13 rebounds on us. He followed that up November 8th with a 21.7 rebound, 4 assist game. And then our last meeting, November 28th, he had 21.7 rebounds and 3 assists. He, in all 3 of the meetings, 20 plus points. And just like I said, he's one of those guys, you all know there's always those Boston Celtics killers that just seem to, whenever they play us, he's the latest addition. So I think that, Bree, you are right. We don't know what to expect. The damn wind is definitely going to be out of their sails with, I mean, a guy like Rob, how could it not be? I mean, so it'll be interesting. I think the fact that it's some of the bench players, I mean, they'll be motivated, like you said, like the Stauskas, the Hausers, all those guys are going to get some run and a chance to prove, even though it's losing Rob is a tragedy, let's be clear. Yeah. But if you look at it, Peyton Pritchard and Daniel Tice were our 8 and 9 on the rotation prior to Rob getting injured. You take him out, that's still a solid 8-man rotation. So I think this gives an opportunity for those other guys lower in the depth chart to, like Bree said, state their case for potential minutes, because that's what this is about. You're professionals.
Yeah, and I'm also a crazy person, and I like put that whatever I just read to you, like the matchups or whatever, I put that out at midnight. So things change during the day, and I'm like, oh shit, whatever. But I'm like, midnight, it's game day, I don't care, and I post it. But bringing up Pritchard's actually a really good point because we're gonna need points from somebody because you have our
Complimenting you,
two leading.
Bree.
Yeah, you see that?
Love it. Hi guys,
Thank you for
thank you. You guys are the
thank you
best.
so much
Like
for
I
the
said, I don't
donation.
read the chat until we are done, so we're not ignoring you. We're
Can
just
you see it right now,
focused.
Bree, on this?
No,
or
I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Okay.
I
Me and
don't see
Bobby
it,
were
but it's
wondering.
fine. It's better that way because I have ADD, so
They
I'll
love
be like
you.
this
Yeah.
reading it, so it's a problem. But anyways,
They're
don't
going crazy
distract
right
me,
now.
guys.
I
but
know.
thank
I'm
you for the
sorry. They're just showing
support.
you so much love. My bad.
I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you for tuning in, subscribing, liking, having me here. I appreciate that. I'm so welcome to be on this podcast. It's awesome. I love it. YouTube channel, whatever you call this. You know what I'm saying.
Above.
All the above, all that. But let's talk about PP. Fast
Oh
P.
yeah, man, good one.
P Rabbit. He's actually gotten a lot better. And he's finally getting those minutes that he deserves. So he's going to be the one that needs to step up because you have Tatum and Brown, our two leading scorers, out. So where are these points coming from? Who's going to be getting buckets?
Right here.
Exactly.
Peyton Pritchard with 22.
Yep.
Because it's not really going to be Smart. As much as I love Smart, I don't see him being the leading scorer. Like, if you're looking at our starting five, is Grant Williams going to be, where are you getting the points from? So that's kind of my only cause for concern because when we have Tatum and Brown going 30 for 30 most nights now, which is great consistently, and they're averaging, 26, 27 points per game, where are we going to get these points today? That's my question mark.
Prodigy, what are you thinking, man? Follow up to us. What's some?
Where would we go? Where are we getting those points tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, Pritchard definitely got to step up. Grant's got to start making some more threes. He's been I feel like he's been on a little bit of a shooting slump as of late. And I feel like this is really the time for Nick Stauskas to prove himself on why he got signed a 2-year contract in the middle of the season. Like, I'm just still wondering why we gave him 2 years if we're not giving him minutes, but we'll give Sam Hauser minutes over him. I mean, I like Sam Hauser. They're pretty much like almost the same player, but I think this is really Stauskas' time. I hope he gets some minutes, and I hope he can make at least like 2 threes. And same thing with Neesmith. We just need a bunch of our young guys to make some of their perimeter shots, especially if they're going to get left
minutes.
open.
Who else is going to play? They have no choice. They have to play.
Everyone's getting some run tonight. And I mean, Stauskas,
exactly right.
He had that, incredible conclusion to his G League career with those 100 points in 2 games. It would, Michigan alum. It would be cool to kind of see him break out. But 5 minutes left, guys. I want y'all to get any of your questions in the comment section. Let us start knowing we're going to be moving on to prediction soon. So let us know what you all are thinking. And let's start with Bree.
What?
I know. If you had to say it, and it's so hard to do this when we talk about all the players that are out, the potential.
I'm trying to think logically.
It really Is there any logic to it? No, it's basketball. Who knows? I mean, if you had to say who you think wins and what the actual final score would be, talk to me.
I think it's going to be low scoring, simply because, like I just said, Tatum and Brown are out. So where the fuck are we getting these points? I think it'll be like, I don't know. This is so tough because they're both on win streaks, right? Toronto is rested. They're at home. We are on a traveling back-to-back. We just lost Rob. What are we going to do? It's either Hospital Celtics rise up or we get beat by the Raptors, a team that we should beat. Just by the turn of events, and it seems like bad things come in threes, I'm going to say we lose tonight. Not by much. I think it's going to be in the 90s. So I'm going to say we lose 98 to 90. That's my guess. Okay.
98 to 90 with a low score. Prodigy, you feeling the same? Low score. You've got the Celtics, Toronto. What are we thinking? Beast Move in the building. Rashid, in the building. Much love to the 90 people in here. Thank you.
So I do think it's also going to be low scoring, and I'm also going to go with the Raptors. But I do think the Celtics will play very hard, and I think we'll fight back. I feel like it's going to be a game of runs. Like, I feel like Toronto maybe will pull away, go up by 10. Maybe we'll fight back, cut it down to 3. But I just think that Toronto has they're completely healthy. They're just a way more talented team. They got starting caliber players facing off against our bench caliber players. So
Right.
I just think it's going to be. It really comes down to how hard these young guys play and if they show up or not. But I'd say if I were to give a score prediction, two good defensive teams, and we're on a back-to-back. I'd say maybe Raptors win 107-99, or 107-99.
I don't think we break 100 tonight at all.
Hold
I
up.
really don't.
We got a Bobby message, Bree, and this one's straight to you.
Sad. I know. This is the crash. Listen, I slept all day in the depression of Rob news.
I know, right?
I didn't even want to get up.
I was pretty.
Keep the blankets curled up. Hold me.
Listen. I'm not a blind fan. I'm just being honest.
It sucks. It does. It's
I
heartbreaking.
bleed green, but I'm not dumb either. If we're like playing like the bench of the bench against starters for the Raptors who aren't terrible, they're the 6th seed. Like it's just there's no like. I don't see them winning. I would love it if they do. Please pleasantly surprise me,
prove
guys.
Us wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Not to mention the streak as well. Toronto's actually won 8 out of the last 10 too. So you're right, Bree. They've been hot. They've been rolling.
Yeah,
they're getting healthy.
And
they've got incentive. They're trying to avoid a play-in game.
Everything's against us tonight.
Correct.
So,
y'all both went with Toronto. I'll switch it and just go with the Boston Celtics. I think that the young players and some of our key role players like Marcus Smart, all of those boys are going to step up. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, defensive-based game, but I think Boston's going to win it 103-97.
Can we get one more prediction? Can we say who we think is going to be the leading scorer for each side?
Okay, so let's do who is going to be the leading scorer on each team, and who's obviously whoever the game high will be also answered. So Bree, who you got?
I think Van Vliet is going to definitely be the leading scorer for the Raptors. Because again, I didn't get to see much of Scotty Barnes. I just know from history, like he's just a vet, and I think he might step up and score a little more than this Scotty kid. Again, I need to do more research on that, but that's my guess. That's my safe guess. And then for the Celtics, I want to say it's either going to be Grant or Peyton.
Wow. Okay.
I want to say Peyton. I'll say Peyton because he's been on a roll, and I just trust him a little more right now than Grant. Let's say 21.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So Prodigy. They're loving you, man. By the way, guys, thank you all so much for the love and the compliments.
Yes.
We really do appreciate it more than you all know.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So
as simple as that. Macy, you are right. Prodigy's the shit, man. Prodigy, what are you thinking as far as leading scorers tonight? Do you agree with Bree, who steps up on both sides? What are you thinking?
I think for the Raptors, their leading scorer, honestly, I think I'm going to go with Siakam. I just feel like he's been on a tear, and we're lacking a lot of length down low. I feel like he might have his way down low, but I don't know. We could also have him have one of his patented Siakam against the Celtics performances, which he's never really, for the last couple of years, played very good against us since the bubble. I feel like we're just in his head.
He's a little silly at times. JB does good against him, but no JB.
Yeah, so I think he's looking to redeem himself like in the matchup against us tonight, and and then for the Celtics, I'd say maybe Derek White. I mean, I feel like he's the most talented offensive player we have. Like available right now. So
what does D White score tonight? What do you think? In a 30 piece, 23, 25? What do we think?
Maybe like anywhere from like 18 to like 22 points.
Okay.
I feel like it'll be a balanced scoring effort.
I think you're right. I think that's a good point.
It's not going to be like that 30 or 40 piece. It'll be a bunch of 18, 20
That'll
pieces.
be fucking
like Suns.
Absurd if that happens.
Who score? Could you imagine somebody on that team scores 40 points? Who would it be? Exactly. No. Wow. I don't, man, I guess just in the interest of changing up, I'll go with Scotty Barnes on their side, just because, tradition says that he, does very well against us those previous 3 games. I think he scores 24 on us. And I think Marcus Smart is going to lead the Boston Celtics with 26 points.
Wow, that's high.
Yes, it is. I think he's going to be shooting early and often.
What's his career high? I don't even think that's even – I think that's higher than his career high.
I almost said I was going to say he's going to have a career high, but I didn't want to say it because I'm not sure if he scored that much.
I think that is. I don't think he scored that once.
Gary Trent.
I remember that game against the Cavs in the playoffs. He had
He
like,
thinks
he
Gary
had
Trent
37 against the Suns. He had that
37 is his
Celtic
career
record
high?
for
Smart
threes.
did?
Yeah, that Celtic record game, like when he set the record for threes in a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay,
I
so
think we lost that
37
game
is
to
his
the
career
Suns.
high.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Talk to us in the chat. What do you got, guys? We're about to tee off here. Any closing thoughts? Be Smooth, if you're still in the building, brother, thank you so much for showing up, keeping everyone in the comment section in line. Damn near 90 people throughout the entirety of this.
Wow.
Love it.
Oh, Bree,
Yes,
post-game
I am. Yeah, I will do.
Nice.
But I think I'm doing it pre-recorded because I don't know how to do all this fancy stuff. I'm not like you guys. So unless Jags wants to do it with me, but yeah, I'm gonna hop on real quick. Hopefully it's something worth reacting to.
You're dropping that tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
So
I'll
video will be up tonight, guys.
And I did
Bree,
a little depression Time Lord rant that I believe Bobby is posting now. I posted it on my IG.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's going to be on the Celtics Corner YouTube channel. Feel free to cry and grab some tissues with me. But yeah,
We'll all be joining you in those tears, Bree. Yeah. Shout out to Rob Williams in the background.
Prayers up, boy. It's been a good run.
Has that always been there,
fire.
Bree, or just?
No, I got it. I ordered it like forever ago. It took like 2 months to get here because it was custom made. For some reason, they didn't already have them made. That's their mistake. And I've had it for like 3 weeks now.
I love
We
it.
haven't really been doing me and you, Jags. So you haven't seen it yet, but this is the first. I put it
love
up especially for this instance with Rob.
I didn't know if that was what it was for, but if it,
Yeah,
man,
it was.
Shout out to Rob. Rest up, Rob, guys. We're expecting a big night from somebody. We just don't know who. Somebody.
Anyone. Please, anybody.
A lot of guys are off again. No Tatum, no Brown.
It's gonna be weird.
Thanks,
It's gonna be weird.
It is. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But guys,
definitely not a watch party worthy game, but maybe it is if you make it a drinking game. So feel free to do that amongst yourselves in the chat.
All right, guys, look, thank everyone, 90 plus people, the entirety of this show. No Beast Move. We didn't have our guy tonight. He was in the chat. Thank you again to everyone that showed out. I think the Boston Celtics are going to hopefully get a big win tonight, keep the good times rolling, but regardless, doesn't matter. We just need to keep our hands together and hope for the best for Robert Williams.
Even Hospital's Celtics Corner, we didn't even have Beast Mode. What's happening here, guys?
I know, shit's crazy. Maybe he actually is really depressed. He had to take a night off to grieve for Rob. Any final thoughts, Prodigy?
I just think this is a very this is going to be a very tough test to prove how good our depth really is, and to see if these young guys really have what it takes to be winning players in this league. So that's basically it.
Also, can I say one more thing? Actually, I know the
You can
game's
say
about
as
to
many
tip
things
off.
as you want, but
I know
you
the
talk
game's
to
about
us.
to tip off, but could this be strategic to maybe drop in the standings? Like, do we not? You know what I'm saying? We got to think about that. Which matchup do we want in the first round? So keep that in mind too.
Yes, I think that Tatum and Brown all of a sudden getting a night off with Rob's injury.
I'm not about load management, okay? I fucking hate load management. What is load management? I'm not about it. So it's convenient that they're all in
convenient.
Al Horford needs 2 games off for this personal reason. What's going on?
Well, I know Anna got
I hope
married.
He's fine. I hope he's fine. But
I know Anna got married recently. I'm not sure if that's why he's missing games. If it is, congratulations to Anna Horford. If it's not, my bad. I'm just kind of connecting dots. But yeah, I think Bree, you definitely have something to talk about there because that's pretty accurate. It's all of a sudden a coincidence.
Till next time.
Yeah, so
tune in next
guys,
time.
you have something to tune into. But again, guys, on behalf of Celtics Corner, Jags to Riches with Bree and Prodigy, y'all enjoy the game. Big win for the Celtics. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.